Welcome to the Wednesday Match Play, your weekly connection to the biggest and best brands in golf. On this show, you will learn more about the latest golf fashion trends, hear from LPGA and PGA Tour players, get advice on planning your next golf getaway, and much more. Broadcasting live from Bonita Springs, Florida, please welcome your host, on the tee, Ricky Potts.
On this episode of the Wednesday Match Play podcast, we are headed to Maui, Hawaii to learn more about the Maui School of Golf. Claude talks about all he's doing to grow the game, gives us an overview of Aimpoint Express, talks about his time at Kapalua, and shares insight on some of the best beaches on the island. I've always been a big fan of Claude, and it was a pleasure having him on the show. Let's jump into it.
Aloha, Claude. Welcome to the Wednesday Match Play podcast.
Aloha.
You are so into the Hawaii spirit. Every email, every conversation, you are aloha and mahalo. I just love the energy that you bring to everything that you do.
Claude, start by giving us an overview of what you do and more about the Maui School of Golf.
So Maui School of Golf is located at Kahili Golf Course, as well as at King Kamehameha Golf Course. The King Kamehameha is the private part of it, and the Kahili Golf Course is the public part of it. It's also a co-branding with Golf Channel Academy. We are located in the center part of the island of Maui. And basically why when you visit Maui, you need to come at Maui School of Golf is because the experience will be totally different in a way that I really like to help people to know how they do a good shot first. Most of the people come to me and say, Claude, first I want distance, consistency, and tell me what I do wrong. I say, okay, I think you need to look at it differently. And I ask that question, would you rather know how you do a good shot first? Because they do a good shot, and then I ask them, how did you do that good shot? 99% of the time they look at me and they say, I don't know. So the difference is you become a player. It's a lot more than just a golf swing. It's how have fun out there, how to understand how you do good shots. And of course, you need improvement on some aspect of the technical part. Can do that. I love the short game. In fact, I just love helping people to play better golf all the time.
Well, that is awesome. And I've been taking lessons with a gentleman here in Naples for almost a year now. And there's no question it helps whether he's just looking at my swing or we're on the golf course. So we'll talk a little bit about that more on this episode. But Hawaii recently hosted the Century Tour Tournament of Champions at Kapalua. You spent 10 years at the Kapalua Golf Academy, and Kapalua isn't very far from where you are. So did you get a chance to go to the tournament this year?
Oh, yes. I've been going to the tournament since I moved on the island in 2005. So January 2006, I was at the tournament, and I didn't miss one since. I think it's such a privilege to have the best in the world in your backyard. I encourage everybody to go to either the LPGA or the PGA Tour tournament because you see the best. And you can learn, I mean, like I said often, don't look how far they hit it because they hit it far. Look at their tempo, look at their rhythm, and see what you can learn from them. So I was there. I just enjoy, especially Maui. You're so close to the player. You don't have those big crowd like other PGA Tour tournament because where we are located.
So you are a PGA Master Professional. How does that differentiate you from a PGA teaching professional? What makes you a Master Professional?
All right. So basically, the Master Professional, out of 29,000 members of the PGA of America, there is roughly 370, 75 maybe of us. And you can have different specialty. I'm in coaching and teaching. And that specialty, maybe we are, let's say, 250, maybe around that. So it's the highest accomplishment you can have with the PGA of America. So you need first going through the PGA program. You become a Class A. Then you need to be in the business for 10 years And then after that, you need to do your certification. And then you go to the master program. And basically, you have to write a thesis on how your philosophy of the coaching, the teaching. You have to do a book review of the book that you have read and what you learn in there. And you also have to have a project that will be center of your thesis. And for me was I created the first short game golf school in France in 2009, and then that was part of my project. Then you present that to a panel of 5 PGA Master, and you do that in Port St. Lucie. That would probably change because the move in Texas, and then you have to give a life lesson in front of that panel, and then they quiz you and see if you're, what you say and what you have written and how you teach. It's all in harmony. It's synchronized, and then you become a PGA Master.
Well, that is great. And there's no question that the additional experience that you have shows in what you're doing with your students. In 2016, you were named the Aloha Section PGA Horton Smith Award recipient. What does that recognition mean to you, and how did you celebrate?
That means every time I receive awards from my peers, it makes me feel humble first, but at the same time proud of all the hard work I do. And so I celebrate with my wife, because without her, I won't have been able to have the career I have so far. And then so she's a champagne lady, so we celebrate with some champagne. And the Orton Smith is because you help your fellow PGA member and whoever want to become a PGA member. So you mentor them to see if they really want to be in this great profession.
Do you remember what champagne it was? Because I'm fond of champagne myself.
That was a Veuve Clicquot Rosé.
That is a very good bottle of champagne. Now, let's turn to your book. Tell me a little bit more about the Realize Your Golfing Potential book that you wrote.
All right. So the book is exclusively on the short game. So it's 100 yards in, let's call that. The scoring club, I call them as well. So basically, I have been writing many articles in United States and Canada and France. And then after I had some discussion with Mike Malaska, in fact, he's the one who I like to give credit to people who helped me. But so Mike had written many articles, and in fact, in 2015, Golf Magazine France did the full magazine on me. That was 124 pages. So that was a lot of work to prepare that. So Mike says, maybe you should keep that and eventually turn that in the book. So that was the starting idea of the book. So I use many of those articles and I transform that in the book. The differentiation is many golf books are a lot of text and not that many pictures if you want. So I use many pictures. It's direct to the point, and it's really targeted to the audience of your podcast, because it's for the 98% of people that play golf not for a living, but go and have fun weekend with friends, family. And the best thing about it is I have many people who read it and say, I went on your topics on the bunker because I was struggling, and then the next day I'm out of the bunker better, and I feel confident that I start to master the skill of every aspect of the short game. That's how the book came about.
We all know how important it is to score from within 100 yards. So I am very excited to read that book. I've not had the chance to read it yet, but based on the way my game is right now, I could probably use that help. There are a lot of really good golf movies out there. I like movies like Happy Gilmore and Tin Cup. What is your favorite golf movie?
My favorite golf movie will be The Greatest Game of All.
That's actually a very popular answer. I haven't seen that in a while. I need to go back and watch it because a lot of people have been saying that recently.
Yes, because it shows, golf, as you know, golf is a lot more than just hitting a ball. It's about the core value of the game, respect, integrity, and then perseverance, all that. And in that movie, I think it's well done because you see the interaction between the players, the caddy. And then I think the biggest challenge in this game is discovering yourself. And I feel watching that movie, it's a good journey and give you idea how you can be a better person by playing golf.
So you mentioned the Golf Channel Academy. Tell me more about your role with the Golf Channel Academy.
Basically, I'm the only lead coach with Golf Channel Academy for the state of Hawaii. Basically, Golf Channel Academy, it's owned by NBC and Golf Channel. It's a network of golf coach around the United States. They have a few locations outside of the United States. And so my role with Golf Channel here on Maui is, representing the brand. Also, when I go and, and I did morning drive a few times, sharing my passion and my expertise about how to play better golf. That's what Golf Channel is about. It's a network of really good coach. They are handpicked by the staff, at Golf Channel, and it's good to have your. It's a co-branding with your academy, so it's good to have your name associated with the largest TV producer golf show in the world. So it's a big plus.
I've heard you on the golf club before. How did you and Danielle first connect? And I mean, she's such a nice lady. I've actually had the chance to be on the show as well. She's been on this show. So what's your relationship with her like?
Oh, it's fantastic. She's doing so much for golf in general, but more specifically for us in Hawaii, because she broadcasts, like you, the podcast around the world. And our relation, that's a fun story, because when I got awarded the Teacher of the Year, Aloha Section PGA Teacher of the Year, I say, Danielle, would you like to come be at my table and celebrate this achievement? And she said, oh, yes, I will be that. You're the first one who invite me to that celebration. So from there, we became friends. She needed a place to stay in Hawaii when she came at the Century tournament a few years back. I hooked her with good friend of mine here, the Kennedys, and now they develop a friendship. She's fantastic. She's a great lady.
You have a myriad of coaching programs on your website. Tell me a little bit more about those, specifically Aimpoint Express.
Okay. Aimpoint Express, I had the privilege to meet Mark Sweeney, the guy who invented it in 2007. So I'm around Aimpoint since then. So the Express read, here's how is the best way for your listener to understand what it's about. Think of Aimpoint. It allows you to quantify the breaks, any green in the world, any speed, any type of player, any type of putter. So often when I tell people with the Aimpoint is, think of it, I ask them, do you use a device to measure the distance? Let's say like Bushnell. They say, yes, I do. But I say, what about if I'm telling you that Aimpoint Express will give you exactly on every putt how many inches you need to aim either right or left of the hole. So it's a field-based system. You read the green with your feet. You really feel the severity of the side tilt, and it's very simple. People at the beginning, Aimpoint was a little bit more complicated, but right now, believe it or not, my youngest players that came from Express is 7 years old. and he gets it like this. So, and point is about green reading. I have other program that is, I call that power driving. So I want to have different offering for whoever comes to Maui, because their time is limited, meaning they want to spend some time with their family. Golf is part of their allocation of time and budget they have. So I have that great, if you struggle with your driving, it's called power driving for 2 hours. I got another one, it's called Bye 3 Putts. And of course, I do a lot of on-course instruction, because what I see is many players could have good enough swing to score better than they do. It's just because they don't know how to use their swing on the golf course. So I do quite a lot of on-course coaching as well.
I've been to Hawaii several times. Maui is awesome. I love the island. Maui Brewing Company is one of my favorite brewing companies in the country. I've also really enjoyed my time on the North Shore of Oahu. Do you get the chance to visit other islands, and do you have a favorite beach in Hawaii?
Yes, I do. We here in Hawaii, we call that staycation. So meaning you stay in Hawaii, but you vacation in Hawaii. I was on Oahu for 2 years as well. So I spent time at Cody, that's a great resort. I went to Turtle Bay. That part of the island is very nice. But if I had to say beach that I like a lot is Airport Beach, because it's I can even walk there from my place. It's, I will say 10 minutes walk maximum from where I live. So when I have an urge to go in the ocean, I just walk down the hill, get in the ocean. You see the other island like Lanai and Molokai when you're in the water. So I would say that's my favorite beach, because it's very convenient to go there.
I take lessons from Bernard Sheridan here in Naples. We spend a lot of time together almost every week, if not more than once a week. How many of your students live in Hawaii versus tourists that are only on the island for a few days?
That's a great question, Ricky. There's, I would say the percentage of my clientele right now is probably, I would say 40% local and 60% visitors. Hawaii is a very interesting market in the way that we have repeat visitor, like you in Florida. Basically, I live in Florida for 10 years. They call them the snowbirds there. We have that type of clientele. So many of them, they know me since 2006. So when they plan vacation, they say, hey, are you on the island at this date, do that. I created for the local, it's called the Players Club. So it's a monthly program. People should, join for a month, and then it's include private. It's a small group. It's a group of 4 or 6 people maximum. So they have every one of them have 2 private lessons. They have once a week the group get together for a supervised practice session. Then we go on the course once or twice. And then they have also here with the practice facility, it goes by the hour. So they have 8 hours of practicing on their own. So this is popular with the local. And the junior, I love helping junior. I feel that, Hawaii, we're away from everything, I will call that. But I feel for the junior that they can have the best instruction as good as on the mainland. So I got many junior that wants to get the scholarship eventually. So I follow many of them. They come and see me for that.
You have pricing listed on the website. Your pricing seems fair for the experience that you have and for what you offer. How do you decide what to charge for lessons, group lessons, and assessments?
Okay, very good. We are in the business of golf, so you have to tailor to the market where you are. We are not the beauty of our course is there is no houses around, no hotel, but at the same, that make it very pleasurable for people who come here, because you have no structure except the clubhouse, and you have great view on the ocean. But I have to attract the people who are in the resort. It's not that far. It's probably 15 minutes maybe to drive to the course and the academy where I'm at. So I take that in consideration. And my philosophy is always, my expertise is very valuable, but I like to make it affordable for the people to come. And I like to, after they left the coaching tee, I have often people say, you know what, the quality of what you're giving for the price, I think you should charge more, but I'm fine with that.
Video has changed the way that golf professionals teach. How are you using video in your teachings and promoting yourself and your brand?
Okay, so let's answer the first part of the question about on every players that trust my expertise. First, I will ask them if they want to be on video. Some don't want to, but if they want, I like to do, before we do any adjustment in their swing, I will do a down the line view. I will do a face on view. And after that, we made some adjustment. I show them a before and after. And most importantly is I give them exercise training, exercise that they can do on the practice, at home, and then also on the golf course. So this way they after the session with me, it's their library of swing that they can go back to and have their own recipe to play better golf. Everybody receive the video. By the end of the day, that day, it's in their mailbox. They can look at it. Now, regarding the promotion, Golf Channel is helping me quite a lot with managing all my social media. I have a guy there, Jonathan Hens, is doing really good for me. So I'm using the video. In fact, I will give you a scoop here. I produced last summer over 220 instructional videos, and then we will launch Virtual Golf Academy. Have a lot of the videos where people will be able to subscribe, go by team, what they want to learn. Some were produced here at Kahili Golf Course, some at King Kamehameha, and then I produced some as well when I was in France in September during the Ryder's Cup. I was at the golf course where it's called Golf Court Academy. It's a PGA Golf de Vaudreuil. That's where I did another 80 videos there. So it will be available soon on the internet that people will be able to look at it.
Wow, that is incredible. It sounds like you stay busy. There is no question. Now, I'm curious. I have been to your website, but you're also very active on social media. Where can folks at home learn more about you and the Maui School of Golf?
Okay, so they can tweet. It's at Maui School of Golf. Facebook, same thing. And then they can always email me at claudemauischoolofgolf.com. My phone number is really public, so if they want to chat with me, they just call me. It's 808-870-1422. So I'm also in Instagram. So it's about sharing the Aloha spirit and the privilege that I feel that I do what I love here in Hawaii and around the world where people want to invite me.
What's next for you and the Maui School of Golf? You've talked a little bit about the videos that you have coming, but what's the immediate future look like for you and the school?
My primary goal right now is really reviving the junior program here at the Kaili Golf Course and at Maui School of Golf. I think so. I'm really putting in place different programs where it will be a weekly. When I'm done with you this afternoon, I call that the Kiki Junior program, and so that's my main focus. with the U.S. kid, really get the junior part of it. Then also offering more on-course session. I think there's many coach that are technical coach, and it's good. We need that. But I think I spent quite a lot of time with PI and Lynn Marriott in Vision 54. And here, I think it's missing that part of managing the human being that's playing golf. So that's the other. So junior and on-course coaching.
Everyone listening at home knows how big of a Tiger fan I am. Now, I'm curious because I don't know if you're a Tiger fan, but do you think he breaks Jack's record? Why or why not?
I think he's definitely more motivated right now than he used to be. He's more healthy. I think the answer to that question is if he stay healthy, he has a good chance to do it.
I've thought that for a long time as well, that his health is going to be the deciding factor. And this is his last kind of comeback. We saw it last year, and I think this year, assuming that he stays healthy, is going to be the determining factor on whether or not he breaks that record. And you're right, he's more motivated than I've seen him in a long time. And regardless of what happens, it's going to be fun to watch, and I'm glad that we're alive to be able to see whatever comes of the end of his career.
I'm with you on that. This gentleman did so much for the game, and you can see it every time he's playing. The rating are higher. People that don't even watch golf normally, they sit in front of the TV and they watch him. Every players on any tour will say thank you, Tiger, to have raised the purses that much, the awareness, what he does with his charity. I'm with you. Is when you look at some of the numbers, I mean, the guy, let's say, I think he was leading 54 hole. I think it was leading 45 times. Do you know how many times he won out of those 45? 43. I mean, and we can go through the number. It's unbelievable how good this guy was for the game.
In golf, the 19th hole is a slang term for a bar or a restaurant on or near the golf course, very often in the clubhouse itself. There are a lot of great places to grab a drink in Hawaii. What is your favorite 19th hole, and what are you drinking?
Okay, so I'm a big fan because I'm on Maui. It's a little bit of a classic here. I like the Bikini Blonde from the Maui Brewery, and of course, sitting on the hula grill right on the beach. That's great because you got your feet in the sun, and nothing better than the Mai Tai watching the sunset right there. Merriman is another place I love to go. It's in Kaparua, and over there they have that ginger special drink that they do with vodka. It's a must try.
Sounds good to me. Claude, thank you so much for coming on the show. This half an hour just flew by. It's always fun to connect with people in the game of golf, especially those growing the game on an island in the middle of the ocean. As you always say, and as they always say in Hawaii, aloha.
That puts this installment of the Wednesday Match Play in the books. But we'll be back next week for another exciting episode of the show. As always, remember to eat, sleep, golf.